Hello, my name is Taylor Council, and in this video, you will learn how to build a basic HTML web page. Before we get started, be sure to download the required sample files available on my Moodle page. Let's go ahead and take a look at the HTML project files. These sample files include images, the finished HTML file, and a text document that contains the base text. Let's go ahead and take a look at the final project we will create today. Go ahead and double-click on the Ferrari HTML document. Feel free to scroll through and take a look at this content. This is a basic historical writing of Enzo Ferrari, life and his legacy. Let's go ahead and close this. Let's go ahead and open up our raw text document named base text. Double-clicking this will open the file in a notepad window. The first thing we want to do is save the file as another name. In the notepad window, in the top left, click on File, and on the drop-down menu, click Save As. Our Save As window has popped up here. Click in the box next to Save As Type and select the All Files. In the file name box, we're going to want to erase this existing title and type webpage.html. And then we'll click the Save button. Here we have given the file a new name and changed the file type into a .html file. If we look back at our project files here, we'll notice that the icon here has changed, as well as the file type. This means if we double-click this, it will open in our web browser, and we can monitor the progress as we make changes to this document. Congratulations, you just made your first HTML file. Let's go ahead and start making some changes to make it look more like a web page. The next section will focus on making headings. Let's go ahead and bring the notepad file back into focus here. Go ahead and locate the first word in the document, which is Ferrari, spelled in all caps. Right here. Type left arrow, H1, right arrow, in front of Ferrari. Click the mouse pointer after Ferrari, and we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to put a forward slash, and then H1. We're going to click File on the ribbon at the top, File, and Save. Note that this can also be done pressing Ctrl and S at the same time on your keyboard. This will save the changes that we've made here. To look at the change that we've made, let's click on the web page in the browser window, and let's click the refresh button. Here we can clearly see that the Ferrari word is in bold and is distinguishably larger than the remaining text. This is because we've made this word into a heading. Okay, let's return to our notepad file. The next step will be very similar to the previous. click your mouse cursor in front of early and type left arrow H2 right arrow. Click after the word life and type left arrow / H2 right arrow. Let's go ahead and repeat our steps. Go to File, Save, and let's go back to our browser window. Here, let's click Refresh. And as we refresh, we'll see that early life is now distinguishable from the rest of the text as well, but it is smaller than the Ferrari. This is because we used the header 2 style. Okay, let's go back to our notepad file, and let's do the exact same thing to the words racing career and road cars. So place your mouse cursor and click before racing and racing career, left arrow H2 closing arrow, click after career, left arrow / H2 right arrow. Let's go down to road cars, click before road, left arrow H2 right arrow, click after cars, left arrow / H2 right arrow. Now let's go to File and Save. Let's check the Webpage window. Click Refresh, and our webpage is starting to take shape. We now have separate headers for early life, racing career, and road cars. The next section will focus on word wrap, paragraphs, and other things. Let's bring our notepad file back into view. At the ribbon at the top, we have File, Edit, Format, View, and Help. Notepad has a helpful feature called Wordwrap, which will help us see more text in this window here, so we don't have to scroll all the way down, left and right to make changes as we see fit. Let's go ahead and enable Wordwrap. To do that, let's click on Format on the ribbon and click on Wordwrap. So now our text is wrapped around, I'd say, a paragraph looking manner, and it makes it a lot easier to read. So if we resize the window, the text behaves and it stretches itself to fit the window best. Okay. Position your mouse cursor in front of the Ferrari header, click in front of that left arrow, and let's press enter. After pressing enter, go ahead and click in the blank bar space above the header and type left arrow HTML right arrow and press enter. In this new bar of space, type left arrow, body, and right arrow. If necessary, scroll down to the bottom of the document after this last paragraph here and click after the last word in the document. Press enter, type left arrow, / body, right arrow, and press enter. Type left arrow, / HTML, right arrow. Go to File and save. Our next step will be converting the content into paragraphs. To do this, we're going to want to find our first content paragraph here, starting with Enzo Ferrari. So type left arrow, P, right arrow, and at the end of this block of text, type left arrow / P, right arrow. Let's do the same thing to the next block of text here. So click before in and type left arrow, P, right arrow, and at the end of the paragraph, click and type left arrow / P, right arrow. Once again, do the exact same thing in the following paragraph. Clicking before in, type left arrow, P, right arrow, and at the end of this paragraph, click after 1947, and we will type left arrow / P, right arrow. And finally, for our last paragraph, in front of in, type left arrow, P, right arrow, and at the end of the paragraph, following Ferrari, type left arrow / P, right arrow. Go to File and save your changes. After saving, if we go back to our web page and click refresh, we can see one cosmetic change, and that is that the web page now knows that these two are separate paragraphs. Our next section will focus on bolding and italicizing. So let's bring up our notepad file once again. In the second paragraph, the larger one starting with in 1920, let's look for the words Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo will be in the first sentence here. So what we want to do is format these two words in bold. So to format these in bold, position your mouse cursor in front of alpha, type left arrow, B, right arrow. Position your mouse cursor and click after Romeo and type left arrow / B and right arrow. So if we go to File and click Save and check our changes in the web page, we'll notice that Alfa Romeo here was bolded and it distinguishes itself from the rest of the text. Let's bring our notepad file back into view. So we're going to stay in the second paragraph here, and we're going to want to find the words Ravenna, Paulsine, and Kappa Acerbo in Pesera. Our goal here is to italicize these three titles. Click before the capital R in Ravenna and type left arrow, I, right arrow, and click after the A in Ravenna, left arrow / I, right arrow. Let's do the exact same thing for Paulsine and Kappa Acerbo in Pesera. Click before the P in Paulsine, left arrow, I, right arrow. Click after the E, left arrow, / I, and right arrow, and perform the same operation on Kappa Acerbo in Pesera. Let's go to File, Save, and let's check the web page in our browser tab. Click Refresh. And here we have Ravenna, Polstein, and these titles are now italicized. Let's bring our notepad file back into focus here. Let's click before the first heading here, H1 Ferrari, and in front of the left arrow here. Our goal here is to center this heading's text so it looks more centered on the web page. So type left arrow, center, right arrow, and then click after the ending header command here, left arrow, / center, and right arrow. Let's go to File, Save, and on our web page, let's click Refresh. And after refreshing, we can see that the first heading is now centered. Next, we're going to insert an image. Let's bring our notepad file into view, and between the first header, Ferrari, and our second header, Early Life, click within this bar of space here. And let's press enter a few times to give us some room. Here we are going to type left arrow, IMG, SRC, =, quotation marks, images, / capital L logo, .jpg. This is the full file name for the image we are going to insert. So if we go to File, Save, and on the web page, refresh, and we can see we have added a prancing horse logo, which is the Ferrari factory symbol. Let's insert a second image. Let's bring our notepad file into view, and let's place our cursor below the Early Life heading here. Let's make some space by pressing enter, and we are going to type left arrow, IMG, SRC, =, quotation mark, images, / Enzo Ferrari, .jpg, quotation mark, right arrow. Let's go to File, Save, and on our web page, let's click the refresh button. So here we have added a picture of Enzo Ferrari himself, the founder of Ferrari. We're going to make some changes to this top logo right here. We want to make it smaller and aligned to the center. So let's bring our notepad window back into view. Let's locate this line of text here for the logo and place your cursor in between the quotation mark and the right arrow here, and type space, width, =, quotation mark, 100, quotation mark, space, align, equals, quotation mark, center, quotation mark. Let's go to File, Save, and on our web page, click Refresh. Here we see the logo is a lot smaller and takes up a lot less real estate for our web page. Good work! You've completed the HTML basic web page tutorial by creating an HTML file, formatting headings, using Wordwrap and formatting paragraphs, bolding and italicizing phrases, aligning text, inserting images, and aligning images. You can use your new experience to make or edit HTML pages in the future without hiring someone to do it for you. I hope you enjoyed watching and following along, and thank you very much.